Let's talk about some ways we can connect with for sale by owner sellers. FSBO has been my four-letter word for many, many years. My first listing was a FSBO. Nobody told me it was hard to get a listing from a FSBO. I got my license back in 1984. I wanted to get some listings, so I went to the newspaper and called a seller who did his home for sale. It made a lot of sense. I asked him if he needed help. He said yes, please, and he invited me to come over to the house and talk about it. I listed the house that day. It was easy. And I gotta tell you, don't believe people who tell you this is hard. It's not. We're going to do a 2014 primer today, and I am going to help you bring your FSBO prospecting to the next level. I'll tell you what you need to get the best results and make FSBOs call you. How would you like to create a system where FSBOs call you and ask you for help? I'll show you how to get started right here and right now. As soon as you're finished watching this webinar, you will be set to get in action. At the end of the training session, I'll also give you an opportunity to take your FSBO business to the next level. Who am I? My name is Frances Flint Orson. I got my real estate license in 1984, and FSBOs were always a big part of my business. I got into a FSBO coaching group in 2005, and that's when I actually built a system to list FSBOs and expireds. When I built a real system and I created a solid plan, I started to list about 10 properties a month, and I did that without a team, without an assistant, and I did not outsource any of the work. I did it myself. The coaching program made a huge difference, and I had really great success with it. In fact, the coaches running the program hired me to teach it way back in 2006. In the meantime, I have created many training programs, I've written several books, and I have clients across the country, and I create campaigns for them in many niches. FSBOs are still my favorite niche, and 2014 offers new opportunities, including exciting possibilities with inexpensive Facebook ads. Now, I have a handout. If you're watching this on a replay and you want to download a copy to take notes and follow along, go to FSBOmarketingmachine.com/handout and get your copy there. Now, what do you need to create a FSBO campaign on Facebook? Well, first you need a list of FSBOs. You can compile a list of FSBOs visiting sites where they advertise: ForSaleByOwner.com, Craigslist, Zillow, and your local online news channels. You can use a sophisticated FSBO finder tool like the RedX or a data service like LandVoice. My clients use a very simple FSBO locator software, and I'll demonstrate that in a bit and give you an opportunity to pick that up when we wrap up later. You need a Facebook account. You need an account on Facebook in order to create an ad there. That's easy. I'll show you how easy it is to create an ad on Facebook in a little while. You need a phone. Never underestimate the power of a personal connection between you and a home seller on the telephone. And you need an autoresponder program so you can follow up with new prospects. Your autoresponder will take your FSBO contacts from many different channels and put them into a timed messaging sequence that will help them. It will build trust for you and give you authority in the market. There's something else you need, and this is absolutely critical to your success in the FSBO arena. You must have good intentions, and you must be willing to share helpful advice to help the FSBO get the outcome he is looking for. What does a FSBO want? A FSBO wants to sell his house. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to help that FSBO go from point A and get closer to point B in your marketing campaign. Demonstrate your sales savvy and real estate expertise. Share your best nuggets with them. Impress the do-it-yourself seller with tools you have. Impress the seller also with your expertise and with your authentic, heartfelt intention to help him reach point B. How can we move that seller a little closer to point B? Lots of FSBOs conduct open houses. Incidentally, open houses are a great way to meet FSBOs face to face. You don't want to get in the way and interfere with them when they have buyers in the house, but I can tell you from experience that many FSBOs have very slow open houses, and I showed up at many of those open houses over the years where there were no buyers and no traffic, and the sellers were very happy to do a little brainstorming about that. And more than a few of those open house FSBOs became my clients. A nice printed guest register with fields for follow-up contact information is a great sales tool to share with a FSBO. And not every seller has a seller disclosure document. This is another shared tool that leaves sellers grateful and indebted. Do you think some sellers could use some help with their ads? Put together a list of ad tips and share it with your FSBO prospects. Make sure your name and email address and telephone number appear on the document. You might even offer to review an ad as a professional courtesy. Sharing these tools takes the seller closer and closer to point B, and you know what? Most FSBOs get to point B with the help of a real estate agent. Think about it. Who has the best chance of gaining a seller's trust? Someone who is pitching and talking about himself, or someone who has helped that seller take some steps to get from point A to point B? That's the whole point of educational marketing. I'd like to call it edu-marketing. It's a lot softer than a hard sell. Education is the basic premise of creating a sales funnel where you help your prospect. Helping the FSBO will build trust. It will make the seller like you and trust you. And sometimes the FSBO might even sell his own house on this journey, and that's okay. Who do you think he will remember the next time one of his friends or a family member tells him they are looking for a good real estate agent? Your FSBO campaign will create additional referrals in your business. If a FSBO sells his own home, send him a note to congratulate him and celebrate his success. Come from a place of abundance, and you will reap your rewards in referrals. Now let's talk about some basic undercover intelligence work, and then I will go online and show you how to get some of this information. Let's gather as much information about each FSBO as we can. Okay? Get an email address is an awesome piece of information. If you have good FSBO software, email addresses may be included in the data you gather. Getting a FSBO's name is essential to personalize your written communication. Facebook assigns a user ID number to each and every person on Facebook. I'll show you how to do that when I open a browser in a couple of minutes. Phone number is also critical, and please, please, please honor do not call laws and rules regarding permission-based SMS text messaging. The property address is an important piece of data to use in your communications. Now, every now and then you're going to stumble across a seller who is selling multiple properties, and there's nothing nicer than getting a call from a FSBO who's ready to work with you, who says, oh, by the way, I have several other properties I want to sell. Those are sweet, sweet words. Find out how much the seller wants for the property. This may sound elementary, but the more information you have, the more you will impress the FSBO. If your information about the property is coming from a sign, you might consider cross-referencing the property address with ads on Craigslist and ForSaleByOwner.com and assess the seller's online advertising. In fact, cross-check the property address with your MLS. And in many markets, 75% of FSBOs are expired listings. You may get some clues about the property and about why the property is not sold in some old MLS listings. Tax records are priceless, and that's probably the best place for up-to-date records like mailing address. You should have access to tax records through your multiple listing service. Now let's go over to a browser now, and I'll show you how to get FSBO information for Facebook. I'll start by showing you how to gather Facebook user IDs. The Facebook user ID is a number Facebook assigns to each user. Finding someone's user ID is simple. You just switch out the www in the browser and insert the word graph. Here, let me show you how that works in a live browser. Finding a person's Facebook user ID is very, very simple. Go to the profile page. Here's my profile page. You can see that that after the / that you can see my name. This is not my Facebook user ID. To find my user ID, we're going to go into the Facebook graph section. And to do that, what we do is we replace the www with the word graph. Simple as that. Hit return. And there we go. There you see my ID, and there you see additional information about me using the Facebook graph. You can do that with anyone. All you have to be able to do is find the person's profile page to begin with, and you can get the information. You can take that user ID, save that to a notepad, and save that and collect those user IDs for your custom audience. There's a new wave of Facebook automation tools that make it easy to extract large amounts of very targeted data. And this is really important when you're creating a custom audience. We'll talk about that in a bit. These tools fall into two categories. There are scraping tools and extraction tools. Now, legitimate data extraction tools use Facebook API and comply with Facebook terms of service. That may sound like a lot of technical stuff, but it's really, really important. Scraping tools do not comply with Facebook terms of service, and some very prominent marketers have been booted off Facebook and all their accounts were closed. Their personal profile pages were shut down, and they lost access to all the Facebook fan pages and all the groups they created. Now, Facebook does not like people coming in like thieves in the night scraping data about its users. There's a right way and a wrong way to get data about people on Facebook. It is dangerous to use scraping tools, and if you're looking at a tool and you're thinking about buying it and you don't know whether or not it's a legitimate extraction tool or a scraping tool, forget it. Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Setting up shop with a new Facebook ID and recreating your social network is not fun, and it can be very costly on many levels. I have several pieces of software for extracting targeted lists on Facebook. My favorite tool lets me do some deep, insightful targeting, and you can check it out at therealtygram.com data reach. It's not, and again, this is not technology that is special about FSBOs, and you're going to want to do things a little more manually. So it's a little off topic, but it's worth mentioning because it's a new and exciting technology to harvest the graph there. The Facebook graph. Facebook terms of service for Facebook ads includes provisions for people opting out of lists. Now, this is a rather new requirement, and I suspect many people are going to start opting out of custom audiences to remove themselves from a barrage of unwanted and intrusive ads. So it's important to stay on top of these developments and not get caught in a situation that puts your whole Facebook account at risk. So hang in there with me, and we will be talking about this a whole lot in the future as this develops. Now let's check out a very simple and easy to use FSBO tool. This is a FSBO locator tool. Okie dokie, here is our FSBO finder. Here's the software, really, really simple to use. Just a few fields and we can pull up information. I find the easiest way to do that is by sticking with city and state. The listing ID is a field that you use if you know the listing ID of a property in ForSaleByOwner.com. I don't bother with that. I just go with city and state. I don't find that zip is really the best way to search, nor is county. But if I take a look, for instance, and I want to pull the listings in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, I can go for as much information as I want. I can go, 1 to 10 pages. I'm going to include information here, and I will just tell it to go and search, and it will start a search. It will process a bunch of data. And then it will let me save a spreadsheet with all of the information, and I'll show you exactly what that information looks like shortly. So again, I limited this search to 1 page of information. I guess it's about 20 properties a page, and it takes a little bit here. If you're working in a really large area, in a large metropolitan area, it's kind of a little bit slow, the software. So this is something where, you're not going to sit here and then, boom, find hundreds and hundreds of listings. Now, if you're in an area where there are lots, or you have hundreds of listings and that type of data to work with, what you do is you start the software and leave it on for a while. Do something else on your machine, do something else for a little bit, because it could take 10, 15, 20 minutes depending upon what you have. I've run searches for metropolitan areas, let's say in Ohio or elsewhere, where it may have taken up to half an hour, but then I have a couple of hundred properties, and then of course put some automation into the work for sending out letters and making plans for people to call and connecting with those FSBOs and start driving those FSBOs to their landing pages. So you can see it. The first thing it does is it looks for them, it finds them, then it processes them, it compiles the information, and then we save it. So I will just be a little bit patient here for a second, and I'll be back as soon as this is finished. Okay, here we go. The list is built. The operation is complete. It reminds you, do not forget to save your results. So I'm going to do that right now. I will save it, and it creates a file right on my desktop, and I'm going to go back. I'll go into that file in a second. In the meantime, if you want to run another search, what you do is you put the software onto reset. Click the reset button and start again. For now, I'm going to close that down, and I'm going to go into my FSBO output file, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm opening that list of 20 FSBOs in Bethlehem, and we'll see what kind of information we have here. Okay, I've got, historic Bethlehem home. I have the landing page and address for the property. Let's see what that looks like. We'll open up a new tab here and see what kind of information we get when we pull that up. Remember, it's a really good idea to do a little bit of research so you know exactly what you're looking at. This is a really nice property in a beautiful neighborhood in Bethlehem, in historic Bethlehem. Here is the owner's name and telephone number. Lots of information here, so we have lots of good information. We can see that this property was updated 119 days ago. And we can see other information as well. So in some cases, the owners are in Bethlehem. In some places, they're in, they live elsewhere, Nazareth, Green Lane, Phillipsburg. We hear a couple in New Jersey. So we've got some out-of-state sellers here. So quite interesting. There's an old farmhouse here. So good information. Again, you've got property owners, you've got their mailing addresses, you've got the property addresses, and then you have links so that you can, check out the property itself. So it's a pretty neat tool, very easy to use. It'll give you a lot of information very, very quickly. You can get to work with that, and nothing to it, no big deal to install it. It runs on Adobe Air. You just, you saw how easy that was. You just put it up, get it going, and get to work with that. So let's move back to our PowerPoint and get on with it here. Let's go into Facebook now and create a campaign and an ad in the Facebook Ad Manager. Okay, we will go into Facebook here and take a look at our ads. So what I'm going to do first is go to the right here and click on the link to manage my ads. I'll just show you how easy it is to get on here. I'm not going to show you a lot of stuff that I have created because I don't want to jeopardize any confidentiality for clients for whom I'm running ads. But here you see where you have campaigns and ads. You can create ads and campaigns. You can get a lot more interesting stuff going on with Power Editor. I suggest you check out some information either on YouTube or read a little bit more and see some of the deep stuff that you can get into that's a little bit beyond the scope of what we're going to do here. But for the purposes of this exercise, it's really, really easy. You just create an ad. And the thing to do is, all right, if you want to, let's say we want to send clicks to your website and clicks to a landing page, you want the FSBO to get in touch with you. We'll say that he will come to your website, right? And well, let's say, I'll just put any website here. We'll just say Google for now. Okay. Whoops. All right. And they're loading the image there. This will bring you to a page where you can add additional images. It will pull something off the page, and then you could add several other images. And that's a really good idea because Facebook will rotate the images, and then the image that gets the most clicks is the image that they will show the most. What you want to do here, and this is really, really important, you want to connect a Facebook page to your ad. You want to connect a fan page to your ad because that will get you the cheapest rate in the whole system. If you don't connect to a fan page, you will be paying multiples in price. You can create an ad that will run in the news feed, and you can create an ad that will run in the right column. Personally, I hardly ever run ads in the right column because you get these nice big ads on the news feed. That's a whole lot more real estate on the page, and I get some great results. You can change your headline, make it something that's grabby, and then some more information in the text area, and that's what you can do to create your ad. Very, very simple. If you have a audience, if you have created an audience that is a custom audience like FSBOs, okay, you can insert that here, okay, and just limit that to your FSBO audience. You can pick the location, limit it to certain states, ages, and then proceed. What I suggest is that you take a little bit more time looking at some Facebook ads. Take a look at some additional materials about Facebook advertising for real estate agents. Talk to people in your circle. I'm guessing you will be paying about 20 to 40 cents a click, when you're working with FSBOs, and that's not bad. Let's see here. Let me just take a... This is from one of my fan pages where I don't have too many people. Here, I'm building an audience. I have a Pope Francis page, and I have a number of custom audiences for that. So here's a selection of 3 data files, 3 custom audiences that I selected that have a total of 5,000 people, and Facebook is suggesting that I bid 5 to 10 cents a click. That's pretty low, and when you get a lot of traffic and people are really clicking on those links, what will happen is the price per click will go down and you'll be paying peanuts. Again, that's a function of the fact that you're running it through a fan page and that you're not running it through something else. So these are custom audiences that I have extracted from Facebook using legitimate extraction tools to gather information about people who have similar interests to the interests that I'm sharing and talking about on my Pope Francis page. I don't share that in for any purposes other than to illustrate a point about how to make this. So that's really pretty much it. I mean, it's very, very simple. You can bid for the clicks. Again, if Facebook is saying that they want, that you should bid 5 to 10 cents, I would probably bid the 10. I'd probably go to the 10. I might even bid 12. It doesn't mean that you'll pay 12. It just means that you'll be at the front, at the top of the list when the ad is run. So that's something to think about. So go for the high side, and the more traffic you get, the less expensive it is. I've paid as little as 2 to 4 cents a click on some ads that I've run where I've really high engagement. I'm running an ad right now where I have about 15% click-through rate in one of my niches. So again, go into the ad manager, check it out, see what it looks like. Give yourself an initial, do a test run on something that you have, and maybe do a $5, $10 a day test and see how that works. You could go into your website, you can go into your page, and you can also, let's see here, you can pick a an actual post, or just create an ad where you don't, for a post that is not included in the newsfeed on your page. That's called a dark post, and you can create an ad for your page that is that's an ad that doesn't appear on your page, so you don't have to make the fans on your page crazy with some of the stuff that you do if you're running something regularly or often. So I'll give you an example of that. I have a page where I offer some things for sale, t-shirts and that kind of thing. So I will target people on the list in my custom audiences, but I won't be hammering people on my fan page with those same offers. So take a look at that. And let me know how you do. This is a really exciting things to do. Creating new ads. You can do other things too. You can also run ads for likes. Just for page likes, just to get likes to your page, and you again what you would think about there. And if you have a fan page, you might consider doing that. If you have a page for real estate and a fan page, and your competitor has a similar kind of a fan page, but your competitor has a lot more people, you can actually target the people on that fan page to like your page. So there's, that's the whole purpose of using those extraction tools. It's probably easier to build a custom audience these days for some things than it is to target people to a fan page. It used to be easier to say, okay, I'll create an ad and I will target people who like such and such a fan page. Up until a couple of weeks ago, that was an easy thing to do. That's not such an easy thing to do anymore. So creating a custom fan page with some type of a data mining tool is really the way to go these days. Okay, so let's get back to our webinar. You can run a FSBO campaign on Facebook for as little as $5 a day. I recommend a 5 to 7 day campaign spending between $5 and $10 a day. A $10 per day ad spend on Facebook driving FSBOs to a killer landing page is money very well spent. Internet marketers use campaigns like this to sell everything from t-shirts to information products, but you're a real estate agent, and landing a FSBO as a new client is a very high ticket return on a very small investment. Doing this right can add more FSBOs to your sales funnel than you can add simply using a telephone. The FSBO-friendly real estate agent who uses both traditional prospecting methods and cutting-edge Facebook ad strategies will own the local FSBO market. Now let's recap some of the most important points about creating Facebook ads. Create your Facebook ads in a Chrome browser. You must use the Google Chrome browser to use the Facebook Power Editor. The Power Editor will not work in another browser. Run all of your ads through a fan page. This is huge. Now, this point is huge. If you create an ad and drive traffic to a website and you are not doing that through a fan page, you will pay much, much more. It doesn't matter whether you have fans or engagement or no fans on the page. Creating an ad and running it through a fan page gets you the cheapest rates without any loss of quality or engagement on your ad. Running an ad through a fan page does not mean you have to drive prospects to your fan page. You can still drive traffic to your website to a landing page off of Facebook. And you may have the best ad in the world, but if it doesn't convert, it's not worth anything. You have to have a great landing page on the other side of the click. You have to have an offer that makes your prospect click a link and share his email address. Otherwise, this whole exercise is pointless. What can you offer in exchange for that email address? My favorite lead magnet of all time is a for sale by owner survival guide. You can create this as a digital download and also print it out to send, to prospects by mail, or better yet, drop it off in person. This is the mother of all FSBO lead magnets. I used to print them 20 at a time and keep a box of them in the trunk of my car. A good for sale by owner survival guide has copies of legal forms, a seller's disclosure, staging tips, buyer qualifier, and lots of good content FSBOs probably don't already have, and they will love you for this. Give your prospects, your FSBO prospects, lots of ways to reach you. Make sure you have channels that cover everything. Every campaign has a call to action. The more channels you offer, the better your chances are that more people will connect. People love choice, and they will notice the range of choices, and that will impress them. Chances are that the FSBOs have a very limited range of channels in their own ads. So you may want to note the number of channels in their ads and make a note when you're collecting your FSBO intel and making your connections with them. You probably ask your clients what form of communication they prefer, and that's after you get their business. You can get more clients and land more FSBO business if you offer those choices up front when you make the very first connection. Your follow-up sequence will reflect and honor the FSBO's channel choices. So let's take a look at some of the channels you can use to drive more FSBOs into your sales funnel. Channel 1. A web form collects an email address, and it has a submit button. When the user submits his name via a web form, there is generally a payoff, a market report, a video, or some other content to help the FSBO get from point A to point B. A landing page is a great place to host a web form. Landing pages contain a headline, messaging, and a promise of something in return for a user's email address. The landing page may reside on your website or on a social site, or you may post a social link on Facebook to your website. You can use all the social sites to drive traffic to your landing page to collect opt-ins. Channel 2 is email. Put your email address or contact form in a conspicuous place on every page in your website. Your email address should appear in all your profile pages and in all your written correspondence. Use a professional email address, and by all means, find an autoresponder for timed, sequential follow-up. Deliverability is very important. On the autoresponder site, Aweber has a good record and great features for marketers, and so does SendReach. I'll give you some links in the handout. SendReach will even scrub your list for demographic information. It does that automatically after people subscribe. SendReach also has Facebook forms, QR codes, and SMS response tools. Instant Customer is another really neat premium service that offers integrated email, SMS, voice broadcast, advanced call capture, QR codes, and everything you need in a single dashboard. If you're a super techie, you can enjoy massive cost savings with some new cloud-based tools on Amazon servers. So email is very important. Don't use junk. Make sure you have a professional email address. Get rid of the AOL and the Hotmail addresses. Those don't work anymore. Your business deserves, a quality name and quality follow-up. Channel number 3 is SMS text. Now, you can have really amazing results with SMS text channels. Include a line in your ad. Get a copy of the For Sale by Owner Survival Guide. Text FSBO to this number, whatever your number is. You can set up a series of interactive messages that will qualify the FSBO and impress the living daylights out of it. You can incorporate SMS text into lots of programs. If you want more information about that, pop me an email, and I'll set you up. That's a really neat thing to be doing. Channel 4 is snail mail. That is paper. And despite what anybody says or what you may hear, print is not dead. Print is very much alive. and a few first-class letters can make you tens of thousands of dollars in short order. Every piece of mail you send to a FSBO must be personalized with the person's name. FSBOs do not like 8th generation photocopies, and you can be sure every FSBO in your market is already getting a ton of those from other agents. Make sure yours stands out. Be professional, make it personal. Use first class, always. And consider adding a trinket to the envelope. You know, people love opening a lumpy mail. They can't resist it. They will not leave a piece of lumpy mail unopened. Channel 5 is the telephone. Let's be honest. You know, you've got this far into the webinar because you have an interest in FSBOs. Now, ask yourself a question here. Okay, how many FSBOs have you called personally in the last week? How many have you called in the last month? You can put everything else in this webinar to one side and restrict yourself to the telephone, and you can create a 6-figure or a 7-figure business with FSBOs using nothing but the phone. Now, call them, you know. Use your do not call list. Be sure that you check, do a little research, and set a daily goal for calls. Set a goal to call 5 FSBOs every day. You know, better yet, set a goal to call 10 FSBOs every day. You know, or set a time goal. Set aside an hour or two every morning for undisturbed prospecting time. No Facebook, no Twitter, no social media, nothing. Just you, the phone, and FSBOs on the other end of the line. You will find many FSBOs will use this channel to contact you after they have a chance to read your FSBO survival guide. So the telephone channel is important. And you know, when you get that call from a FSBO, when they call you, be sure you call them right back. If you can't pick it up right away. Quick return calls is very important when you're working in the FSBO arena. Channel 6 is a webinar. You know, when you're running Facebook ads, engagement's high. People love engagement, and you can offer a very engaging experience on a live webinar. You can do that right on a Google Hangout. Schedule a help out session for do-it-yourself sellers and watch what happens. You may get some live engagement that pays off with a new listing. And even if you don't walk away with a video, you know, even if you don't get a listing, you'll walk away with a video, which is a valuable digital asset. You can post it to YouTube and other video sites and get lots of exposure that will do what? It will drive more traffic to your landing page. So use this channel to drive sellers to other channels, and you know, all the channels lead right to you. How many of these channels are you using in your business right now with FSBOs? How many web forms do you have online to gather FSBO information? Do they appear in landing pages and your blog sidebars? Do you have text links in your blog post that open to an opt-in form where FSBOs can get more information? Do you invite people to contact you via email? Are you using a professional email address? I gotta tell you, I still see lots of agents using EOL and Hotmail addresses, and folks, this is not professional. I can understand Gmail, but the other ones have to go. What is the deliverability reputation of the email autoresponder platform you use? What's your open rate? How many opt-ins convert to clients? Now is a good time to do an assessment of the tools you're using throughout your real estate practice. You may need to review your tool set and make adjustments, replacing tools that don't work, and, implement some new strategies for higher conversion. Do you have an interactive SMS text campaign? Are you using snail mail for FSBOs? What's your conversion rate with direct mail campaigns? And how often do you place calls to FSBOs? Do you use call tracking numbers to measure the effectiveness of your campaigns? How about recorded messages? Are you doing webinars yet? If you're going to be advertising on Facebook, remember you are working in an arena that is all about engagement. You can do webinars using Google Hangouts, and in most market areas, you will probably be the first local agent any FSBO will see who offers educational how-tos for FSBOs on a webinar. I hope you've taken away some good nuggets today, and I've put together some additional resources in case you want to take this and go a lot deeper. I created FSBO Marketing Machine for agents who want to pull out all the stops and totally dominate their FSBO market and get a lion's share of listings from local FSBOs. There's software to find local FSBOs. It's easy to use and there are no monthly fees. You can use it on a PC or a Mac, and inside of a few minutes you can download a spreadsheet with all the FSBOs in your market area. There are pre-designed landing pages you can install right on your website. There's an SMS opt-in page and a corresponding thank you page. Email and letter templates you can cut and paste and customize for your market. And you can launch a click-to-call feature on your website with a plugin that's included in FSBO Marketing Machine. I will have 4 weekly webinars to cover all the basics. Week 1, I will cover how to create a FSBO marketing campaign using the assets in the program. If you can't attend live, don't worry, because all the webinars will be recorded and placed in the membership site immediately following the event. In week 2, we will build that FSBO survival kit, and you will be on your way to impressing the daylights out of every FSBO you meet. Week 3, we will talk about what's working and what's not working, and you will have a chance to participate live in this discussion. Week 4, we will feature FSBO superstars, and you will have a chance to ask them questions directly. There's just so far you can go in a webinar like this, and I really did my best to cover as much ground as possible. There will be 3 more webinars devoted exclusively to Facebook advertising, and I will start with the basic how-tos and walk you through the process step by step. You will learn how to conduct split testing to maximize your conversions and get more listings. We will talk about the psychology of images, and I will share some secrets about images that convert best for FSBOs. There are copywriting techniques you can apply to your ads, your landing pages, your web forms, your follow-up emails, your snail mails that will get you more listings. We will cover conversion principles and principles to turn more clicks into opt-ins, and turn more opt-ins into appointments, and turn more appointments into closed listing agreements with FSBOs. I will share advanced Facebook targeting methods and show you how to use layered custom audience targeting to know your prospects and reveal their passions. Imagine how you can build rapport when you can pinpoint your prospects' most fiery passions. And we will talk about Facebook automation tools you can use to get more conversions than ever. You know, and Facebook's changing from one week to the next. The first time I did this webinar was a couple of weeks ago, and in the meantime, the advertising dashboard at Facebook has changed considerably. There are new terms of service coming up all the time, and you will learn about them as soon as they happen in a private members-only Facebook group. We will also share case studies in real time. We will create a real estate brain trust unlike anything you have seen elsewhere on Facebook. And, you know, keeping up with things, there are lots of rules and regs and laws to consider, and risk management is critical in real estate, and that's why I am including my jewel as a bonus for this program. You will get my real estate social media policies and procedures manual and the broker implementation guide and access to a private membership site with more resources. You will get lifetime access to all updates, and I'm selling this for $97, and people are telling me that's a steal. This is yours when you sign up for FSBO Marketing Machine. Now, what would you expect to pay for all this? Well, you know, I used to charge $147 for the 4-week coaching program. There was no collateral material, just a bunch of telephone calls, and that was 7 years ago. I don't think you can find landing pages like this for much less than $197. The Facebook advertising webinars are gold, and they are probably worth about $197, and I most likely will release them as an independent product when they're finished. The FSBO locator software is easily a $97, and unlike all other FSBO software, there's no monthly fee attached to it. I'm already selling the policy manual for $97. I haven't put a price on the plugin and the email and the letter templates, but if you add this up, even without that, it's about $735 in value for the whole shebang. But I'm not charging $735, and I'm not charging $397, although I suspect that may be the price I set for this program after we get through the first round of success stories. A lot of my market research points to $297 price tag as a quick sale giveaway price, but I'm not going to charge $297. Charter buyers and charter members of FSBO Marketing Machine have a one-time only opportunity to get this entire package for a one-time fee of $97. There's absolutely no risk, and if you're not totally jazzed with about your results, you can send me an email in the first 60 days for a complete refund with no questions asked. This offer will be taken down soon. There's a button below where you can sign up and get access to all the resources and downloads immediately. There is a to-pay option if you want to get started with a smaller investment, and there will never be another opportunity like this again. If you want to list more FSBOs, join me. Let's make 2014 our best year ever, and I will see you on the inside.